I bet that's a hard thing. Well, that's, no pun intended.
There's going to be too many puns in this episode that we're not going to be able to avoid, just so you know. They're fucking landmines.
Love the movies? Did you love the search for the perfect rental on a Friday night? Did your parents have all the premium channels? Do you search through countless streaming services for the perfect movie night? I know we do. Welcome to Mike and Anthony Soda Pop Culture Club. Me, Mike, along with my co-host Anthony.
It's Italian imported nylon.
A special edition. And we bring our take on a classic movie every Monday from the 80s, 90s, and beyond, during which we will play the game and open up a 6-pack of favorite scenes or more even. We also point out a couple of generic scenes as well. At the end of the show, we'll rate the movie 1 to 24 cans. 1 can is is being Coke impotent. That's what it is. I had an extra word in there, but it's being Coke impotent, which is really bad. And 24 cans is dating Roller Girl. But before we get to all that, we want to let you know we have a Patreon. So if you like cool stuff and topics, then we need you to join us on Patreon. Plus, if you are a patron, we listen to your suggestions. So if you want us to do a movie, that would be a good way to suggest it. You can still do a fast pass, though. So if you're like, I don't want to do all that, but I still want a movie done, you can send us $25 to our Venmo or PayPal at Soda Pop Culture Club. Let us know what it's for, and we'll do that movie for you. And like you say, always we have a goal to get 10 patrons by October so we can just keep making this magic happen. So please, people, help us out. Help us help you get more stuff.
But it's 25 if you just want to look at it. 50.
If you want us to do it. Yeah. If you want to see me touch it, it's 50.
It's 50.
Not only do we have a Patreon, we also have a website, sodapopcultureclub.com. You can buy some merch, make movie suggestions, and see our schedule. A couple more things. Don't forget to share the show with your friends. Check out our Instagram at Mike and Anthony. We post tasteful pics of Anthony's feet, sometimes doing movie scenes, sometimes just the feet. You know, he's into that. And we try to post clever memes that go along with the movies we discuss. Finally, we need you to go to Apple Podcasts and hit us up for a 5-star or any star review, really, and a comment. It would be super awesome because it helps us grow our show on that particular platform. Anthony,
so
you just want me to hit the trailer and just not ask you?
Okay. You know what? I think this movie is appropriate to just hit it.
Everyone's given one special thing, right? Everyone's blessed with one special thing. I want you to know I plan on being a star. A big, bright, shining star.
Eddie Adams from Torrance.
Yep.
Jack Horner, filmmaker. I make exotic pictures.
In 1977, a kid from nowhere.
Maybe think about your name.
My name, yeah.
Something a little pizzazz.
Dirk Diggler. Good name.
I like your name a lot.
Had a dream of getting somewhere.
Jack Horner has found something special in newcomer Dirk Diggler.
So let me just pop in this 8-track, and you just give a list and tell me what you think, okay?
It was a time when disco was king.
These are the ones. These are great.
Yeah, those are really cool. Are they lizard?
No, they're Italian.
So you like my shoes?
They're pretty cool.
Sex was safe.
Woohoo!
Pleasure was a business.
Cut. Terrific. Nice work.
And business was booming.
And the award for Best Newcomer goes to Mr. Dirk Diggler.
Wow.
Goodbye, 1979. Hello, 1980.
Are you ready?
But in 1980...
Come on, you puppies!
The party was over.
You are fired! What? You're fired!
It's jealousy, it's deceitfulness, it's vindictiveness, but, I mean, God, what can you expect when you're on top?
Oh, wait. About this part.
New Line Cinema presents a portrait of 2 decades in the life of a business, the days of a dreamer, and the nights in between. Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
And then Pornhub killed the dream.
Oh, isn't it? Isn't it strange how everything is cyclical in this world? And this movie is like, it's like a foreshadowing to a foreshadowing. It's like it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what porn film killed. Did it just kill the pictures or those little things that you guys used to go up to and turn the little handle and watch?
Turn the crank.
Yeah, the crank.
Turn your crank.
Yeah. Or did it just kill the brothel industry? The guys were like, it's too expensive to get a hooker. I'll just go watch this and yank one out in the theater.
I don't know, really. I mean, I don't know what this did, actually.
That's or
it just question. Introduced something. Did it really take anything away?
Yeah, well, I always feel porn is in layers, isn't
showers? I don't know.
Isn't porn in layers? Like, you have film, you have the videotape, you have the magazines, and I feel the way sex is in general, it's a very fetish industry. So some people, the way they get it is a fetish, whether it's vintage type of materials. You know what I mean? So I think there will always be a market for all.
I don't think I would call it fetish. The medium that you choose. I think that's more of a collector's choice.
Oh, are you trying to
no, I'm saying it's like
make your collection seem better?
It's like you play your fucking video games, you download the games, right? You don't buy the physical copies anymore.
Yeah.
It's more like that.
Well, some people want the tactile feel of a book or a magazine,
or a magazine with pages stuck together. You want to know that's where I left off. There's my bookmark.
All right, give us our numbers, man.
All right, here's our breakdown by the numbers. Directed by Jack Horner and starring Dirk Diggler, Amber Waves, Roller Girl, Reed Rothschild, Buck Swope, and Little Bill. Boogie Nights was released on October 10th, 1997 in the U.S., September 11th outside of the U.S., taking in $43.1 million at the box office against a $15 million budget. It scores 7.9, unfortunately not 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb, and 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, let's just say it's Paul Thomas Anderson as the writer.
There's some other people, yeah. You know the deal. But this is like, to me, this is, if we're going to talk about a movie where people are playing fake porn stars, I'm using their porn names.
But the reason I'm going to say Paul Thomas Anderson is because he's genius. He hasn't made a lot of movies, but the ones he's made are just pretty freaking good. Magnolia, which I really enjoy, has Tom Cruise in it.
Yes.
And you know what he plays? Kidman. What's his big line in that one?
And Nicole Kidman.
Or not, Matt's not Magnolia. Magnolia doesn't have Nicole Kidman.
Oh, that's Eyes Wide Shut. Shit, I'm sorry.
Eyes Wide Shut. That's a Francis Ford Coppola joint. This is Magnolia, where he has the big dick energy and his dad's dying.
Yeah.
Punch Drunk Love is great. There Will Be Blood. Phantom Thread is another one. He just did Licorice Pizza, which was good to me, but I think he's digging into that 70s.
He's definitely got his own vision. I will give him that.
Yeah, he's very good. They tried to call him the Martin Scorsese, the new Martin Scorsese when this came out, which I could see. He has a vision, and he has great needle drops. The music, in this movie is amazing. So
but it's funny because like after watching this, it's almost like it turned so many of those songs into porn songs. Spill the Wine is a porn song to me now.
Oh, no, Spill the Wine's brilliant.
It's a porn song now.
I love Eric Burden and War. That particular version of War is one of my favorites. So there you go. I have a greatest hits by them. It's really good. So I could always that's not a porn song to me, but then again, maybe every 70s song is a porn song when you think about it. I think
a lot of it is, but I also feel like especially like recently after you would watch this movie when it came out, it was really hard to disassociate porn when you heard a lot of those songs.
Yeah, this movie,
because it makes you think of the movie and then it makes you think of Roller Girl's tits.
When you look at how much the movie made and how much was spent on it, I think its reach was way farther than its box office dollars. Like, I think this is another one of those movies that people were afraid to go to it in the theater, but when it came out on video, they rented the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Which is funny, because then you look at fucking 50 Shades of Grey and what that did at the box office.
Well, those are women. Those are motivated.
Jeez,
I mean, when women are motivated to go see a movie, we talked about Dirty Dancing. What happens, you know?
But at the same time, like, I mean, I guess, I don't know if people just I mean, it's obviously not something you can take your kids to. So we've already talked about that
it's
before. The
not.
subject matter determines the type of audience you get. So you're already, if you're going by yourself or with your significant other, you gotta leave the kids at home. So you already, the theater's suffering for that because they're missing out on a couple extra ticket sales.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are.
Especially
I'll
if you're going
say
to show
that.
dick at the end.
Oh yeah, that is hard to never see. Yeah, showing a big. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I mean, but when you saw this, did you see it in the theater originally? I did
No.
not, because my wife would never go see this movie in the theater. I had to wait until it came out on video.
No, this was video for me. I was not like enamored with having to go see it. Like, oh man, I gotta go see Boogie Nights. It
I
was
wanted to.
interesting idea. I thought, oh shit, that's different. But it's partly too. I mean, Mark Wahlberg was still Marky Mark to me at the time. So I'm like, haven't I seen enough of him pretty much in Calvin Klein ads already?
Yeah, well, I mean, you didn't see that much of him. Oh,
so
I don't think Marky Mark doesn't have as much as he has in this movie. Let's put it that way. I bet that's a hard thing. Well, no pun intended.
There's going to be too many puns in this episode that we're not going to be able to avoid, just so you know. They're fucking landmines.
It's like they said with the president, right? He's the most powerful man in the world. So you might have these preconceptions of his sexual prowess. Same with a guy you see in a movie. See a guy in a movie with who has a prosthetic Johnson that's the size of a baby's arm. I mean, do you have these preconceptions when you meet this person outside of the movie and think, "Oh, he must have that"? That'd be horrible. That'd be horrible to have
not for his you kind of walk into that yourself though. If you're going to take on that role and you're going to have a 13-inch donger at the end of the movie, you have to own that or not.
Yeah,
you're going to have people wondering.
Well, you know what? I have a fact on this. And Mark Wahlberg didn't want to take the movie, and the reason was because of Showgirls just came out and was a failure. So he has a quote here in GQ, I believe it was. Showgirls had just come out. That movie was a disaster. And, coming from the underwear background, the music stuff, I was like, I don't want to do this. But there was just so much hype around the script. So finally, I started reading it. I got 35 pages into it. I put it down. I said, I've got to meet the director. I said, this guy is either finally wants me to take the Calvin Kleins off, or he wants to make a really serious movie. So there you go. That was his thoughts.
Can it be both?
Can it be both? Yes. It's like, can it be both?
Now you wonder too, and during the casting call, did the director make him drop his draws?
Mr. Marky Mark,
I need to know what we're working with so we know.
Could you tip Marky Mark? Can you drop your pants so I can see your funky bunch?
Yes. I don't need to feel it. I just need to see the vibration.
Yes. Let's get the vibrations in here right now. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. Hey, so you want to do the awesome thing that I know you want to do?
Oh, yes. Let's play that fucking game.
Oh, let's play that game. And the game, I'll let you know, is where I'm going to read 3 movie reviews. 2 of them are real. 1 of them is fake. And Antoine has to guess the fake one. So you too can play along. So listen to what I read and see which ones I am making up. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Audience, please do better than me.
They do, I'm certain. All right. First one, Marty Mapes. Movie Habit. I didn't dislike it, but it didn't do much for me. David Keyes, cinemaphone.com. With a movie based on the porn industry, you would expect it to be trashy, cheap, and even tawdry, but it's not. Karen Barkley, Chicago Sun-Times. A lesser movie would have played up the sex and camp of the porn industry. Instead, we got a beautiful character study that pulled us in and didn't let go.
I'm going to say the second one.
All right. And why would you say that?
That just seems, I could be wrong.
Okay.
It just seems like the fake review.
All right. And if I said that wasn't correct, which one of the other two would you then go to?
I really don't know.
Oh.
I really don't know. I guess the first one.
All right, so
only because the third one,
yeah,
like the third one, I will say is the one that on the surface would seem fake because anybody going into, but really I could see why somebody would say that about this movie.
You know what? You're right.
So
that you could see why someone would say that.
Yes,
but I'm going to tell you, you
so
were
is
wrong.
That the fake one, the third one?
You were wrong twice, and the
All
third
right.
one was the fake one. But see, here's why you should have known it. We're going to be doing a little movie called Child's Play, right?
Yes.
And the mother of the little boy who gets Chucky is Karen Barkley.
Karen Barkley.
Yes.
She was such a fucking Karen.
Such a fucking Karen. So if you beat me at home, if you guessed that one, because I tried to get him with good words, and I think it worked.
See, I would have known Andy Barkley. Then you throw fucking Karen around.
I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go with the main. You would have known. So that is why.
I mean, it's like only the second most famous Andy to have a toy doll.
Yeah, that's so fucking true. I never even thought about it. We'll get to that when we do that movie here in a few weeks. So this movie, we're going to get into it. Do you want to summarize the plot?
We don't do that anymore.
We could summarize what it's about. I mean,
if you want me to summarize the plot, I'll summarize the plot on this one.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Fuck. Aim for the tits.
Aim for the... I would say a young man who feels his only talent is his big dick, tries to get into the porn industry, and all the cast of characters around him go through the ebbs and flows of life, get to their lowest points, and then get back up a little bit.
Well, he doesn't actually try to get in the porn industry.
Oh, he gets in.
But he gets in.
Yeah. I'm saying that, but that's his...
He gets
starts
discovered.
Off that way. Yeah.
You know, so, and I don't want to get into it like too much, but there's different shit in this movie too, which I gotta say. So, like that whole thing, he doesn't work at a club closer to home. He takes the bus to get there.
I have questions. Go ahead.
But he doesn't. It's really never explained why that he wants to break into the industry, because that never really kind of transpires. It's more that just you know,
he knows he has a big dick.
But still, and apparently Jack Horner does too. Does he have fucking sixth sense for cock or what? Because he just looks at him and is like, I gotta find out about that guy's dick.
Well,
what the hell?
Later on, when he gets home and you see him looking in the mirror, you can see his fucking schlong going up into his freaking hips.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah, you could.
See the fucking cucumber they put in his underwear.
Oh, whatever. You know what I mean. You know, it's going way over me. Come on.
Don't go WWF on me. Oh, you know it's real. Come on, that could not be real.
He got a boa constrictor hiding in his pants. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's visible that way, but I also think maybe he had been going there and someone spotted him for Jack. If you think about it, it makes sense that he heard rumors, and that's why, because it's one of his friends' club. So,
yeah,
it makes sense.
They made that weird eye contact.
They did. That is kind of the strange thing.
That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like that, but I don't know.
That is a good question. How did Jack know to come get him? That's the only explanation I have. I do feel that maybe because Dirk is from Torrance, is that where it was? That he went to the Valley because he knows that's where porn's shot. And maybe he thought at that club he knew where Jack... Because remember, he said he had heard of Jack, so maybe he targeted that. That's the only thing I could think of. That.
I know. Like I said, there's just some different stuff that in this movie throughout I would have liked either explained better or just a little more background to it.
Yeah. That one, the meeting and why they met is a good one. Man, but the whole situation with Jack and there's the whole situation with how he meets him and then how he auditions for him there's problems. I mean, Roller Girl, we find out, is still in high school.
Yes.
I mean, how does that
Eddie's
make you
only
feel?
17.
Yeah, but that which is oddly makes it more appropriate, their sexual energy.
Yes.
But how it is being lorded over by adults telling them to do this seems to be the problem. I mean, this movie didn't. I mean, in 1997, I guess maybe we didn't see a problem. Do you think they would do this now and make this movie this way?
I wouldn't think so, but I wouldn't put it past anybody to.
It is the 70s porn industry, so maybe
Again,
they're
you're
trying to
shooting
point out.
in a different time period.
Yeah,
It doesn't take place when it actually came out.
true.
So, this was the 90s.
Yeah. It was.
This is where this is the 90s. This is where we just barely had dial-up porn.
Well, that's when you wanted to download a picture.
And you're waiting for each line to go.
And the next morning you wake up and go, oh, yeah, that was the picture I wanted. Fuck.
Now it's too late because I got to go to school.
Yeah, I didn't do dial-up that much because it was not useful
Just
at all.
not worth it.
So, did you think those were fair prices, though, when Jack met him? $5 to look? Just take a look, $10.
I don't fucking know. You're asking me what's a fair price to show my dick to somebody or jerk off in front of them?
I mean, I don't know.
Price on that?
You can't put a price. Oh, is it free for you? Okay, I get it.
Yeah, you can't put a price on. It's free. I will tell you, like, watching this movie, that is one question I did not ask myself. What would I charge?
See, there's your problem. You need to understand that you need to know where your prices are, because you've got to have a price. You got to have a price.
No.
Oh, well, everyone's got a price. Everyone has got a price.
I don't have a price for that.
If Jeff Bezos came up to you and said $10 million to look at it.
No. Jeff Bezos.
Just for him to look at your dick, $10 million.
I would not give him satisfaction.
Oh, man. The satisfaction. I doubt he would be very satisfied with what you got going. I think it's just a power play more than anything.
It would be worth the $10 million, I can tell you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, you shave it in the form of a mushroom or star or something,
hey,
like very Mario inspired.
My manscaping game is down. Shut up.
Oh gosh, you're just awful. And now here's what I think.
I'm not awful. I'm telling the truth. You know what? Hey.
Yeah.
Listen. If you're going to play ball, you got to make sure the field is manicured.
True.
That's how the pros do it.
That is not how Dirk did it.
That's why those guys are out there for hours before the game, painting the sidelines, making sure everything looks sharp.
I'm just going to say that Dirk Diggler was in the 70s. I'm guessing that was full on caveman bush, so don't even worry about it.
Yeah, you don't know because even the quote unquote payoff at the end that everybody was talking about, what happens, you don't even see that part.
You see a little bit. Yeah, you do.
No, you don't. No,
I just
you don't
looked.
see, like,
I just watched it right before we got on here. You see hair. You see the hair.
And let me explain to everybody too. We were late starting this recording tonight because someone had to finish watching because he wanted to make sure to see the dick at the end.
Well, hey, I do this for you guys. I do this so that I am accurate and I seen it and I can have a real opinion about what I saw.
So meanwhile, I'm sitting here waiting to start recording this episode while my co-host is waiting to see a 13-inch cock.
Ironically, he's sitting here waiting with his dick in his hand.
Hey. Hand check right here.
Check. Okay.
Also now, my hand is a glass of whiskey, my friend.
I want to get to
Here's
the
other
bromance.
Hand, just in case. Just so
the bromance of this movie. I want to get to that.
Yes. This bromance, to me, kind of rivals Paul Rudd and Jason Segel's bromance in I Love You, Man.
Yeah, or,
on a different level.
Yeah, this is different because this is a bromance that I think that then ends up going beyond this movie.
It is, but
yeah,
Jason Segel would fit in very well in this film.
Oh, this is his type.
Because he's already got the jerk off station in that movie. This is where I masturbate.
Yeah, he would be down with this. He'd be in it.
He would, because his dick actually is as big as Dirk Diggler's, as we've actually seen in film.
I don't want to see that again. I don't want to see.
Well, but it's really funny because Jason Segel, his body type is more like Reed.
Yeah. True.
His dick is all Diggler.
That Reed, but Reed Rothschild and him, they have a great one But the funny part about their whole relationship is they're full of shit. Like
Oh yeah.
everything, they're full of shit. They make up everything.
The very first time they meet, just the whole.
How much do you squat?
How many she squat? Yeah. You go first. Same time? You didn't say it. Well, you didn't say it either. And just like, but the whole that's a bromance there when you're talking about working
Yeah.
out and shit.
Italian
And
leather
what the
shoes.
fucking hell was in that margarita?
I don't know. Is that see? I don't know anything about drinks. So did that look good or bad? I don't know.
It didn't look good.
You wouldn't? Would you have drank it?
No.
Wow.
I'm not a blender margarita guy.
Yeah.
I am like traditional on the rocks.
Yeah.
Make it the right way. Don't put all that bullshit in it. Don't ever nothing like not Mexican restaurant margaritas where it's like drinking a slushy. None of that shit.
My wife loves them frozen.
No. Well, that's because you guys have shitty taste in alcohol. Except your wife likes whiskey, so I'll give her that. But other than that, your alcohol taste.
I have great taste. My taste is mine.
Your taste is what a 12-year-old would like in alcohol.
Hey, and you know something? That's good because I want to share it with your kid when he turns 12.
He'd probably have a way better alcoholic palate by the time he's 12 than you have now.
Well, it sounds like you're going to be introducing him to some Pappy Van Winkle.
Shit. If I could ever get some of that.
Hey,
yeah, I probably would. I'd be like, it's a special occasion, son, because you're never going to see this shit again.
So we've been going shopping here and there at the antique mall to find some things for your basement, like beer signs. How awesome would it be if you had the purple neon Dirk Diggler sign in your basement?
I'd have to say no to that.
Whoa, really? You wouldn't take a Dirk Diggler neon sign in your basement?
No, I would. I would put it in my room in here where I podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
My kid is in there. His friends come over, they play in the basement. They don't play in the well, they kind of do in the area there, shoot Nerf guns and shit. I don't want to be the one to explain to the neighbor's kids, let alone my son, what the hell Dirk Diggler means.
Yeah.
I can't have that conversation.
Oh.
So no. Like,
come on, man.
When my son is older, yes, it'd be fucking sweet.
But the beer thing is still just as bad. Kids are going to want to know, what kind of beer is that? What kind of beer is that? When
he starts saying Dirk Diggler, and he doesn't know why, he's just like, "You're a Dirk Diggler." To some kid on the playground, Diggler. I can't go in for that parent-teacher conference. Not doing it. So yes, it would be cool, but I would not put it in the bar area where the kids are.
Yeah. You don't want him to say that. Now
I already don't like saying I don't want it to be in the bar where the kids are. But again, it's not like that. But
I'm gonna have some I'm gonna hit you a quick fire with some things here. First thing I want to get to is I want to get to Dirk Diggler when he first gets with Amber Waves. He asks for consent.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that ahead of his time? Even in the 70s? Like in the 70s, they said fuck her. They'd probably just do it and not worry about consent. But he was really a loving person at first.
He's got some innocence.
Yeah, sure. he's got the but even then, consent is a thing that even now is hard for people to wrap their heads around.
It's funny though, because the way his fucking mom is, you'd think he hates women already.
Oh yeah, his mother.
Who the hell shit on her Fruit Loops? What the fuck is her deal? And again, another thing, no backstory. We don't get any of this. And his dad
is a weakling who sits there and lets it.
What the hell happened with this?
I don't know. And that's why I was going to go through some character descriptions, like Eddie. His home life sucks, and that seems to motivate him to this porn industry.
Oh, just to jump back on that for a second, though, this is what bugs me about this. When you've got Dirk Diggler, who is the main character you follow in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand, it'd be obviously a cliche to have rough home life, go do porn.
Yeah.
But we don't actually like. There's another place where I'd like a little more backstory to know why this is such a
In a
fractured
2.5-hour movie, where do
household.
you add it in?
In a
Where do
2.5 hour movie, exactly. That's the thing. 2.5 hours, and
It's
that.
it's killer too. All of it. It's real good. There's
But I
nothing.
need. But you got to narrow it down. You should like given me less of one or two characters, even though there's great fucking actors in this movie.
Who do you take less
You got
of?
to parse that down some. Because if you're gonna go into all this stuff and you're gonna show again redemption for people and different things with her, like you got to give some more backstory into this.
Okay, so in this movie,
Like Roller Girl, we don't fucking know. She's just still in school.
well, we see kind of a thing when she's at that test and the guy gives her some shit.
That's what I'm saying. Does she have parents? Does she live with her grandma? We have no fucking clue.
We have no clue. You're right. You're right. But when we talk about this movie and you look at all the characters and how they get to where they are, that's one of the things that the character arcs are interesting, and everybody ends up getting as low as they possibly can,
right?
At some point. I mean, you've got Maggie or Amber Waves, whatever you want to call her. She's a coked out mother, but thinks she's a good mother.
She's everybody's mom.
But she's not, all right. And
there's another fucking weird twist there. She wants to be Dirk's mom, but she fucks him.
I have that in there. That's one of the weirdest fucking things.
And
you know, she but her lowest point is after that hearing, and when she wants to get her kid and she can't get her kid because of her lifestyle. And it really is her fault. And I think that's her recognizing her failures. That's her lowest point.
You know, I actually question that a little bit.
Yeah.
At the very end of the movie, when Jack's going through the house and, you know, comes into the room and he's like, you know, you're staring. It's like, I'm staring at the foxiest bitch.
Yeah.
You know? Then she's just staring herself in the mirror. Like, I always wonder if that's her lowest point.
You just never know. Well, no, because at that point,
like she doesn't seem happy that he put it, like, said it that way. And she's just kind of staring, like,
I don't know.
You know what I mean, though? Like, I almost take that as her lowest point. Like, see, this is what I am.
I think, though, at that point, when they're treating Roller Girl like their daughter and they're kind of domesticated in that little situation, I think that's them bouncing back in their own way. You know, that to me,
it is. But I'm saying, like, just that moment where she's, after he says that and leaves, when she's just staring at herself.
Yeah.
It's a very conflicted look. The way it's like,
I agree. I would tell you, though, that to me, this whole movie, when Maggie gives Eddie or Dirk cocaine, I think that's the slide. That's the real slide of this whole movie. Everything unravels
for sure
because of cocaine in this movie. Eventually.
Before that, Dirk's Napoleon. He's on top of the world.
Yeah,
so somebody wants to take him down,
and it hurt everyone else around them to where they had to go do their own things. You know, let's see. Roller Girl, what ends up happening with her is she ends up having that weird ass sex scene in the back of a car, trying to do some new
with a guy
vivid video. It seems like, I don't know what the amateur porn video, I guess is what we call this. He's trying to pioneer the amateur porn industry. Is that what it is? Guy off the street, and then it ends up being a guy she went to school with. I think it's that guy who did the faces at her. Is it? I couldn't tell.
I don't think it was. I thought that at first.
Yeah,
but I don't think it was.
But that to me, with Roller Girl, this is like her lowest low, because I think she ends up killing the guy. We really don't get the story on that.
He was still moving when they left, so I think he's just like brain damaged.
Well, I hope so, because
it should have killed him.
Yeah,
after he'd already gotten the living shit beat out of him by Jack, and then she goes with a skate to the head several times. That should have killed him.
The thing with Roller Girl throughout this movie, though, the one thing that came to my mind early on when she was sent in to do the blowjob, and then when we get one of my 6-pack, aim it at her tits, Eddie, which is one of your favorite lines. I thought she's been groomed for sex trafficking almost by older people. Does it not feel like
no
that?
doubt.
Like, I feel like she's been groomed into this lifestyle, and I feel bad for her because I don't think it was a choice at that point.
Again, like I said, give me some backstory so I know where she's coming from with all this. She's just there all of a sudden. You know what I mean? She could have been fucking 12 when she started doing this. We don't know.
We don't know. 15, 13. But even then, still grooming. We don't
So I guess
really know.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I say I'd want more backstory, but I'm not sure if I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if I actually want to know how.
Do I want to see kiddie porn like the
No,
Colonel?
no,
I
not
don't
that.
know.
I mean, how horrible their lives were before this.
Are you Colonel Anthony here? Let's see. That's bad. That's bad. Let's talk about Buck. Don Cheadle's character.
Yes.
Love that guy.
Oh,
he
man.
has a little arc on the side.
He's got an identity crisis, though.
Now, I want to go with this. His full cowboy was not a bad instinct, because if you know, by our Urban Cowboy episode and our Every Which Way But Loose, there was an urban cowboy bubble he could have hit there if he would have leaned into it the right way.
I know, but it was coming off more like the Rock's cowboy bubble in Be Cool.
He was looking like Roy Rogers bullshit. Yeah, I get it, but still,
that's just not how you sell stereos, man.
You don't sell it by listening to bluegrass.
Yes, you can't. I mean, you got to have the right music if you're going to have the highest fidelity possible.
He was full of shit.
Big time.
But he had a passion. I'll give him this. He wanted it, and he wanted to do something different. Really bad.
Yeah, it's funny though. Obviously, he was full of shit, but when he was applying for the loan, the loan officer would have had no fucking clue what he's talking about. Like, other than his porn career.
That's it.
Loan. Either way, had not been for that, he would have got the loan, because they don't know.
That was kind of cruel. And then, but what really sucks is what happens after that, which is the scene where he's in the donut shop. Which I really wanted some of those fucking donuts though. Once I saw them tonight, I really did.
Give me a mild craving for them, I will say.
They pull up the apple fritter, and I'm like, oh shit, I want an apple fritter now. What the fuck?
Christmas? Yeah, Christmas over there. Is that Christmas?
This is a Christmas movie officially. Okay,
it is. There you go.
Christmas is in the movie, but they, but the weird thing is when that whole scene goes down where the robber gets shot by the pedestrian gets shot, and then shoots the guy in the back of the head.
Jesus.
That was a weird triumvirate of weirdness. Should he have taken the money though? Because I assume he did. We don't really know, but we assume he did.
Oh no, we know he did.
Well, they didn't show it, but he did. We assume.
No, they showed it.
Did they show it? I didn't. I just watched it.
I'm pretty sure they showed it.
Blacked out.
They showed. I swear.
They showed.
They either showed or they showed it. No, they showed him take off and it was gone.
Well, there's maybe that.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But that's what I remember. You know what I find interesting about that too, though, is it's like that we got the payoff there that we didn't get earlier with Little Bill.
Yeah.
Going in and blasting his wife.
Oh gosh, that was a rough scene.
Well, actually, himself, we saw that, but there was some graphic fucking bullets to the head in this movie.
That was, that is so true. We got to see some things. So that's one of those things where if you have somebody who's committed suicide or anything of that nature, or you've seen things like that, that could be a PTSD trigger.
It's funny thinking about it now, because this movie is so based on porn that everybody focuses on talking about the movie or when it came out and everything. Like, you don't realize how fucking graphically violent those death scenes are. Like, that's more shit than you're getting in any fucking horror movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's more graphic than Pulp Fiction.
I would agree. There is more. I wondered how this stayed into an R rating with as big a dick as we saw at the end and all the tits and the sex scenes.
Not even that. Literally, those shots to the head, like that would.
Those were graphic.
Like, extremely.
Brains everywhere.
That alone is like, holy shit. But
it really lent to what they call it, the shocking nature of things they wanted to do in this movie. Yes. It was there. It was there. Let me see. So we talked about Little Bill. I want to go into our six packs. I said one of them. That was the
Okay.
6-pack. Aim it at her tits, Eddie. That's got to be like,
Yeah.
like how do you? You're sitting at. I guess he didn't ask. There's that. Do you have any
no,
6-pack?
it's not that he asked. It's right after she said, "Don't fucking come in me."
Oh, that's true. Aim it at. Yeah.
Then he's just then.
So he's just giving him direction.
Then
He's
that's
a
him
director.
being a director. Exactly. That's him doing his job.
That's him doing his job. I'll give another one that I have. His 6-pack. His mother's blow up. We talked about his mother. I thought that whole scene was some of the best acting in the movie when it come to the passion in the roles. Like it seemed like Mark Wahlberg really sold it very well. That mother seemed like a really crazy out mother.
Yeah, she was.
And the father was a sad man sitting on the bed. I mean, it was a rough scene. Did you have any other 6-packs on here?
I got 6-packs. I got my 6-packs.
All right, go with one.
Okay.
Hit me with your shot.
May I see it? Well, thank you, Eddie.
Oh shit!
That the facial expression there, even though we find out later he's a complete fucking pedophile, but before that facial expression,
yes,
it's damn.
You know, it's funny. I have a 6-pack here, and I have it as everyone's reaction to his penis. But I was really speaking about his first sex scene and how everybody around the scene reacted in their own way. Like Reed, lean to the right or left or something, left to the left, and everyone else and then Philip Seymour Hoffman's he quivered in the knees. I think
Philip Seymour Hoffman, it's still
Scotty J
when he's taking him to the scene. In the dressing room.
Yeah.
And he keeps sucking on that Sharpie on the clipboard.
Yeah, that's such good acting. Like that character. He was in that character so well, wasn't he?
Man, I thought that Sharpie was going to bust a loaf.
You know how much I love his acting. So
I know you do. That's why I feel like this movie came about to do, because he's in it. We're doing it.
No, actually, don't you have a friend who wanted us to do this? I forgot to mention that.
Oh shit, we did. I know we did.
Tom or something?
Tom, yes.
Tom. So we're doing this for Tom.
We
we
totally fucked that up because we weren't right into the movie. So
hey,
we
it's
might want to
okay.
add that.
Someone's in a hurry tonight,
Tom,
so
bro, I'm so sorry. That's my bad for not giving you props at the beginning. But he had requested this because this is coming out for his birthday. Matter of fact.
So yeah, I hope he enjoys it.
And bro, my bad, Tom. I'm so sorry. We didn't mention that at the beginning. We just got into this movie because we had been just discussing it. So, but yes, this one's for Tom.
This one is for Tom. And I want to go in another one of my favorite scenes that I have on here.
Is probably hung like Dirk Diggler.
Well, good for Tom.
I don't know this.
Good.
But I'm just gonna say it probably is.
I was say good for Tom if he is. But I just want Tom. I hope Tom someday can say a line like, "I like butter in my ass and lollipops in my mouth." That's one of my favorite lines. When the guy's telling Jack why he needs to go to video. Hey, I'm just like the next guy.
You want to know something? Actually, shit. Now I got to get into a Tom story.
Okay, go to the Tom story.
This is so funny. This is perfect for this too. So now this is like fucking 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. Okay.
Got it.
We're hanging out with Tom at his house.
And his big dick.
And yes, he's one of those, he's got to have one. I know he does. I have faith. So Tom, he used to have this awesome, like big red couch, which I fucking loved. Okay. Mm-hmm. Not leather, not going porn here or anything. But anyways, so we're sitting there and one of the cushions had a stain on it.
Oh.
Okay? No. It wasn't that, but we're like, oh, there's something on your cushion. We were like, what is that? Oh, I know. It's like, I don't know. He's like, oh yeah, it's not like pussy juice or anything. Right? Like, so there you go. There's Tom's Dirk Diggler comment right there. Tom wins.
Oh gosh, Tom.
But literally, I was like, "Oh shit!" That's
Did you
awesome.
tell him about sofa covers after that?
No. You know what? He wouldn't go for that. I bet you, anyways, because he'd be
Yeah.
like, "You know what? Your cushions should be how nature intended them. If there's pussy
Yeah.
juice on it, you leave pussy juice on there. Not that it was, but it wasn't.
That's so bad.
True story, though.
True story for Tom. So another thing, I have more scenes. Do you have another scene you want to give out? Another scene. You have another great scene.
6-pack?
Yes.
Yes. So Eddie and Roller Girl, or not Dirk at this point, when they're doing one of their scenes,
Yes.
and they're coordinating, her in
Yes.
bed, and when he's like,
Oh, the use your left leg, and
if I move her leg and roll her over, we can immediately go into doggy style. Literally, no, I love that because that's Top Gun.
that is.
If I reverse on a hard cross, I can immediately go to guns on him.
You're
literally what that
See,
line
and I
makes me
was
think
thinking the line after that. Are you? Oh, he said something about him being okay on the waterbed right after that. I was thinking that, it's like, oh yeah, I'm okay.
of. Oh, waterbeds. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think Paul Thomas Anderson must have a waterbed thing, because if you watch Licorice Pizza, that is very central to the plot of that movie.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I did, but I will tell you I don't remember it very well.
Oh man, you're bad at watching movies, I guess.
I'm not bad. I think I was drinking.
See, there you go, guys. That's why I'm here. I'm the one that brings you the hard hitting stuff.
Either drinking or I had too many cookie dough bites.
Now I want to go into another one of my favorite scenes, and that is when they're at the recording studio and doing that song. You got the touch.
You got the power.
That whole scene, man.
It's
golden.
It's really funny because
Steel Dragon.
What's actually worse? Watching their porn acting, which is actually really good because they do it
it's so bad
badly well, though.
Yeah.
Or watching him try to cut that song.
Oh, that's just pathetic. I think that's pathetic. I think the porn acting is camp, which is funny. The song is pathetic.
But it's funny. But I think I don't know if like people probably like realize how good of an actor you have to be to act that bad.
Well, I had that note on here. I didn't say
a porn star would act.
That Julianne Moore earlier in this movie, when they go to that first scene, she's acting poorly. She's acting poorly in a porn.
But you would think you were watching a porn if you didn't know who those actors were.
Really good acting of acting poorly. It's really good. It's fucking. It's so meta. It's so like I don't know. I just love it. All right. So give me your next scene. Give me your next one.
Oh, my other 6-pack is.
I have a whole bunch. So
there's plenty of scenes, but my other 6-pack, I have to give it to the bromance.
Oh, just the bromance.
The bromance itself, because I told you that is one of those. It rivals almost "I Love You, Man."
Yeah.
It's not there, but it's in its own way. It is.
And what's really weird. I was watching it, like I said, right before I got here, and before they go to my next 6-pack, they're in that little place with Thomas Jane's character. Is his name Tommy? But they're talking about going and doing the deal for the 5 gram or kilogram or half a kilogram of coke, and Scotty is still there. You know what I mean? Like he's still a hanger on. I just thought that was weird. So they have that bromance, and Scotty is still hanging on.
Which and I got to jump back though too with him. So when he tries to
kiss,
orally assault Dirk.
Yes,
I thought there was going to be a suicide there.
That did seem, but that would have been a little cliche for gay community. But that is actually what happens a lot.
But then it's crazy. I will say that's a very interesting point in the movie because really that's where my attention was. I mean, obviously it's because the camera was on him, but that's what you're thinking, either something like that, or he's just going to do something crazy because then he goes and gets in his car. You're like, what's he going to do at this point? And then nothing after that. But then we go to little Bill popping and capping his wife.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then you really don't see Scotty that much in the movie. He doesn't really say much, but he's there. It's really strange. I would say that.
He's just really drunk and really wasted,
But I want to get to my next six pack thing,
Right.
six pack or favorite scene, whatever you want to call it, and that's the motoring scene with Alfred Molina, where he's talking about his mixtape and Sister Christian is on.
Yes.
A funny fact is, before this movie, Alfred Molina had never heard Sister Christian's
Really?
Sister Christian or Jesse's Girl.
Seriously?
That's
Because
a fact.
To me, Jesse's Girl is what takes it over the top.
Yeah, the next song. Yeah, he
Jesse's
had never
Girl,
heard that.
That's when that comes on in a movie. Okay.
You want to hear a quote from him?
Something good here.
He said, "When I said yes to the part, they sent me those two songs. I knew neither of them because neither was released in England. So I had to sit down for 3 days on my own, playing those songs over and over and over so that I knew them backwards because they became so emblematic for the character." So there you go.
So then did he have to ask what moot means from Jesse's Girl?
No, he probably knows that the point is probably moot. He understands the words. He probably just doesn't know.
I don't know.
It's an English word.
I know, but you think about when that song came out, all the kids that listened to that song, all the teenagers, and even probably people in their fucking 20s.
Didn't know what moot
How
meant.
many people probably actually knew what moot meant?
I knew what that meant, but I don't know. I
Just
guess
saying.
I had a different type of parenting.
It's
I guess.
just it's still been, to this day, it's one of the strangest words to put in a song to rhyme.
I would agree.
So that's all.
All right. Other thing I want to talk about is another favorite scene I have is Dirk's ending dialogue. His whole doing that scene and then doing his whole whipping out his junk at the end. I would say that was a great scene, and you had to get the payoff for the movie. I get it.
It was funny because he's rehearsing, but that's like the best porn acting I've probably ever seen.
Yeah.
The way he was delivering those lines. I'm like,
he was. Yeah, that was really good. It was like, yeah.
Like, that's not going to work in a porn.
But he's doing it in a Don Johnson outfit, you know? It's a very Miami Vice, white with pink. I'm just not a fan of the Don Johnson look, but it was a great dialogue. I thought, he delivered it well, and I thought the payoff on the end, yeah, we saw a big Johnson, but, is what it
was
is.
fake. I already knew that.
It wasn't real. So,
double-sided tape and baloney.
I have, in my last six pack, kind of like your brothers, your bromance, is the music. I think the music, there's so many great needle drops where the music hits at the right moment.
Yes.
Like you said, it kind of makes porn come up in your head for a while when you hear some of these songs. But hey, I'll listen to ELO now, and I've been listening to that lately, and now porn will be in my head when I see it.
I know it is like its own porn soundtrack.
It is. It is. It is a great. Well, it's just not bad. I mean, all those songs aren't from porn specifically.
But it does. I think what's good about that though is it finally gives you a soundtrack to replace "Bow Chicka Wow Wow."
Bow Chicka Wow Wow. That's the only thing anybody ever does.
That's the only porn music you ever known before that.
Yeah.
Now we have porn music with words. It's great.
Spill the wine. Dig that girl. Yeah.
Fill that hole. I mean, what?
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's get into some of the more lower points of this movie.
Oh, I got my generic ready to go.
Problems. Okay, you go first then.
My generic moment, my official generic moment actually is at the beginning.
What is it?
Eddie.
Really?
Not Eddie himself, but when Eddie meets Jack.
Yeah.
And he thinks Jack wants him to jack.
Yeah.
And all that. He's like, says he's already done it a couple times that night.
No way. Oh,
okay.
Sorry. Go.
Well, here's my generic point, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to be in that club where I know the dude washing the dishes has already whacked off a couple times for sanitation reasons.
I had to know he shook his hand too after knowing this.
And now this takes place in the 70s, which is well fucking pre-COVID, pre-hand sanitizer, all that shit.
Just soap and water.
Right. That's it.
There's no quick spritz on the hands.
And I will have a Coke. Keep it in the can, please.
And he shook hands with him. I have a generic, and it's that fucking denim outfit that he wore as Brock Landers with all those little patches of denim. I just wasn't a fan of that.
You
that
could have just
outfit.
said Brock Landers.
I
That could
could
have been your generic.
that Canadian wedding suit is what I could have called it. A Canadian wedding suit is a denim suit, I believe. It's awful. It's awful. I have another. I will give my second thing that I find that annoyed me a little bit, but I understand the purpose of it in the scene. And that was the fucking firecrackers in that Alfred Molina scene.
Yeah, that was
the boom. It was like, oh fuck.
It's
Had
so
to be
distracting.
firecrackers. It is distracting. It was. But maybe it needed to be there. Maybe I'm calling it generic, but if it wasn't there, would I miss it? That's the question. I don't know. Maybe.
I wouldn't have missed it because you got good music going on in the background, which also is getting interrupted.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got crazy dude in a house coat.
Yeah.
And Spanky's on. I think you've got enough going on in that scene.
You do. You've got a lot
crazy
going
friend. We came here to fucking do something. I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna fucking do it.
I want to tell you
what's in your fucking safe under the goddamn bed.
Here's what I want to tell you though.
Yeah.
About Thomas Jane. You know what's interesting is that he was in this movie about a guy who has a really big dick that goes into porn, and then in the future, about 12 years later, he's going to be in Hung on HBO, where he's a guy who has a really big dick and tries to get into being an male escort for money.
All comes full circle, jerk.
Isn't that? It's like I'm like I forgot he was in this. Fucking, it's like foreshadowing for his career.
Foreshadowing or foreskin?
A little bit of both, I'm guessing.
A little bit of both.
All right. So I did what I asked you. Do you have a porn name? Have you picked out a porn name?
I have not. I wasn't prepped on this to do so.
Oh, everyone has their porn name. Everyone knows what they like. If tomorrow someone said, "I'm giving you $1 million to star in a porn," you'd be like, "Okay, here's my name."
Let's see. Damn. I mean, I've done the things before. I've seen the things where they say it's like the street you grew up on and whatever. You know, we put those together and all that shit.
That's stupid.
It is. That's what I'm saying. So you've actually taken the time to pick out your porn name?
Well, I put one on here because I was trying to think of something like based on this movie, what would be good in this movie. And I have Avalanche Johnson. You know,
it's almost
Storm Cockburn.
It's almost kind of confusing. Avalanche Johnson.
Yeah. I'm an Avalanche with my Johnson.
Okay.
Storm Cockburn. That's another one.
Let's see.
I mean, there's all kinds of names you can go
I know
with.
now. Jesus. See, when you put me on the spot like this,
your creativity is stunted. Oh.
I mean, shit. This is tough.
Yeah. Well, you know, I thought you would have one. I thought of all people, you would have had your own porn name.
I'll tell you right now, this is what we've learned today. I have not ever decided how much I would charge to jerk off in front of somebody, and I have not picked out my own porn name.
Okay.
Man. There's so many ways to go, and I can't think of one of them.
Okay, that's all right.
About Bruce Saber.
Bruce Saber. There you go. Bruce Saber, Avalanche Johnson. Saving the world. So,
yeah, we could start. There you go. There's our screen names. We could do our own Fast and Furious porn parodies.
Yes.
We have to save the world with our dicks.
With our dicks.
For the government.
I know you're going to want to do one more thing, but before we do, I got a fact about Burt Reynolds, how he did not like Paul Thomas Anderson during the filming of this.
Oh, really?
And he says, I think mostly because he was young and full of himself. Every shot we did, it was like the first time that shot had ever been done. He also told The Guardian, this is what he told, that he turned down acting in Anderson's follow-up, Magnolia, because I'd done my picture with Paul Thomas Anderson. That was enough for me. So there you go.
It's interesting. But Burt Reynolds, and I could see that. I mean, he's a seasoned actor. He knows his shit.
I think this is his last movie he did with swagger. Like, this is his last Burt Reynolds movie.
He kicked the shit out of this part. He was
He did.
awesome.
And this,
like,
he's a six-pack in and of himself. Honestly,
yes,
he was awesome.
He really, really fucking was. Yeah, he definitely was. But I could get that. I mean, it kind of that just makes me think of the whole Bruce Willis, Kevin Smith deal.
Yeah,
where
he'll never do another.
Yeah, where he was like, Bruce Willis was just more like certain things he expected to be done a certain way, or Kevin Smith,
Every director's different.
Right. But I guess I think I would appreciate somebody being that excited about what they're doing. I don't know. I wasn't there, so it's kind of hard to say.
We don't know. Maybe he felt like an arrogant prick trying to tell an old
situation
guy.
Was, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I want to go say one more thing because I forgot to talk about it earlier. The Colonel, we did learn that he was a filthy pedo, and it was kind of nice to see him get his comeuppance in his prison cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. And Jack dropped him like a bad habit, real quick. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I think Jack is the porn director with heart. Say that.
Yes, he is.
So did you, watching this again, sorry, seeing him in there, did you have a little Jared Fogle feels to that?
Oh, yeah. You get a little bit of all that. Locally here in Ohio, the Mike Davis feels.
Somebody with money that
got taken down.
For being a pedo.
And who would, Now, the only difference is he was not a reputable person like these other people have been.
Right.
So,
well, how reputable are you peddling 6-foot sandwiches or 6?
No, I mean, it's a little more reputable than peddling porn. I mean, let's get rid of it. Well, in today's world, I don't know.
No, to me, it was more, it just made me think of that when he was, the whole discussion, like they found more stuff when they were there.
Yeah, I know. I remember it was, and that was rough. It's a rough thing to hear. And as soon as he says, "I just like to look," I didn't, and it's like, click. No. I was done. I'm out. I'm not your friend.
Is this another one of those movies that like makes you so happy you don't do coke?
This is a movie because cocaine is the impetus for everything to happen. Everyone spiraled because of cocaine. And then once the cocaine was out of the picture, they came back up.
And the impotence.
Yeah, he couldn't get it up, and he got his ass beat. I mean, it was rough.
That I forgot. We got to throw that in there.
Okay, go ahead.
But I know when he gets his ass beat, though.
Yes.
By that
group of guys.
But the guy, I'm still trying to figure out. So, is he really a complete homophobe? Because
he was watching before.
Because that's what I'm saying.
And nobody was there. You want to
kick the shit out of him for doing that, but yet you're willing to set that whole thing up by sitting half a foot away, staring at him, and
telling him what to do. Telling him what to do.
What the hell is going on there?
And this is before text messaging, so it isn't like he text messages his buddies, "Hey, I've got him on the hook now." He was sitting there watching, not knowing when they were going to come. He could have finished. He could have finished
on his face and not even know. I mean, that thing's like when you see something like that, you got to know, hey, this is not an ordinary water gun. This is a fucking super soaker.
That's a howitzer. It's a howitzer. It's not
this
a BB
could go
gun.
Anywhere at any range. We don't know. All right.
All right. Go ahead with your question.
Here we go. This is going to be a very interesting one for this movie. Memorabilia time. What do you want from this movie?
All right. I thought about this.
Don't pick anything used.
Well, we already know that I wouldn't mind having the Dirk Diggler neon sign. But you know what I want? I want his orange Corvette.
That was like one of the things I thought about, but...
It's fucking awesome, though. Come on.
Would be cool. Well, do you want it now or after it got shot up?
I want it pre-shot up. That's
all right.
What do you want?
You just want that because you want every time somebody's over, you want to take them in your garage, and be like, "This is my most favorite thing in the whole world.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." Go ahead.
After I thought about this a little bit, it actually hit me like this is actually the most perfect thing I would want from this movie.
What?
I want roller girls skates.
That's the other one I would have picked. I just want to let you know that's the one that was in my mind.
That's something because here's the thing. It's much better than a Dirk Diggler sign and putting them up in my bar that my kids can see, and I gotta explain what the fuck that means. It's a pair of skates. I
mean,
hey, this was
the adult movie awards would be kind of cool too, but hey,
this is what Nancy Kerrigan trained in before she hit the ice.
Yes, he
I'm gonna
did.
say something like that. I can make up some shit. Dirk Diggler, there's nothing you can make up with that. You're like, oh, it's a video game character.
Yeah, that's so true.
13-inch pixelated dick.
Pixelated dick. His dick is so big, it's more than a few pixels. That's most people in a 16-bit game, it's a 2-pixel dick. It's a 7 to 8 pixels.
How many pics are you? That's a question for everybody.
Yeah. All right. So, are you ready to rate this movie up?
Let's rate it. The concept of this movie actually I find very interesting because it does get your attention with the porn aspect. But this is one of those, like, there's so much life after porn, which I really do appreciate seeing that part of it, because you always wonder, like, and they've done stuff, I think, similarly since then, like documentaries and stuff like that. Porn stars, former porn stars, trying to leave the business and everything. So I think that's a very interesting concept for a film. And it does, which, like you said earlier, Showgirls came out at the same time. And so, yeah, two different things there. But, if you're going to do a film like this and you're going to tackle that kind of subject, you got to know what you're doing. You got to have a vision, which obviously he did. But there's a lot fucking amazing cast. Like, this is like Ocean's 11, but porn. Okay? So it really is such a great cast. Some of the performances were just fucking spectacular. And then you add into it the extra layer of seeing them act shitty as porn actors, but do it very well. You've got so many different layers of acting in this. It's crazy. But my biggest problem with the movie itself is which we've talked about. There's so many details that are not included that I think, which again, it's already a 2.5 hour movie. Where are you going to fucking put it? Where are you going to put it? There you go. Another pun. But there's so much lacking with that. When you're going to tackle something like this, I think you need to add more of that, because that's what I do think is a big miss in this movie. Mm-hmm. Like you're broaching some this is taboo stuff to a lot of people. So I think you really need to add more into the backstory that these people had to get into porn and what's going on in their lives. We didn't get nearly enough of that. So I do think that's a big, big fault for this movie, honestly. So I gotta ding it for that. I really do. So again, but awesome performances. But because of that, really, and again, it's one of those. It's also something that's not like, oh, I want to watch this all the time. It's not a very rewatchable movie to me per se, because I've seen it. Do I want to sit down and invest 2.5 hours of my life again every now and then? Not really. So I'm going to go 15.5.
Interesting. All right. Well, I think this movie's brilliant. I like anything that, you can call an audible in the middle of and maybe yank one out on. Different reasons to view a movie.
Wow. So what parts did you call an audible on? Never mind. I don't want to know.
When Buck goes to the donut diner.
Dirk gets in that car.
When Dirk's in that Staying Alive style headband that John Travolta won.
It's nice to know after I mentioned fucking that we were late starting to record tonight because you were still watching it. Now I know why.
But anyways, I love the movie. I think it's a good portrait of an industry that was changing at the time and people trying to come to grips with their stardom and how they fit in that, and then their own narcissism and their fall, and trying to get back up from it. I mean, really, that's what it's all about. Plus a lot of great characters.
I think, sorry, I don't want to interrupt your review, but
yeah, like I didn't hear.
I do think though, I mean, and you saying that, it's like, it really was a good portrait of that.
Yeah.
But that's what I think it could have done so much more than it did.
Yes.
But then also too, even throwing that in like you did, the whole industry changing and going to VHS and stuff, like that's a whole nother fucking thing too
It's
that
a
they
whole other level.
barely touched.
It's a whole other level.
And especially
But
it's just
we
crazy.
talk more about their human side of things and less about the industry side of things, because that's what's great about this movie. It like my review said in that fake review, if the porn got us in there, it's the stories kept us there.
Your fake review was actually the best one of the three.
Yes. So my point is that my fake review was real.
I'll actually give you
It
props
was really
for that
mine.
one finally.
But unlike my friend here, while I had thin backstories, I'm going to accept what I saw and think that it was great. So to me, this movie is like really good. It's 21 cans.
I actually totally respect that, because this is not a movie I'm ranking low because I'm like, you're a fucking idiot if you like it. It's just one of those, I have to rank it low because of certain
you want
issues.
more about the I Roller Girl and more about
like
Eddie.
I said, it was just like I said before, if you're gonna go there
for
this type of movie, then go there. But and again, I think part of the problem with this is this type of movie has never really been done. And you can't make a 7.5 hour movie.
Wow.
To do all that and explain everything, because we already know once you bust the load, you're not going to stay for the whole movie. We already learned that. They don't make those kind of movies.
In 5 minutes, you're done. Yeah,
right.
that's
You're
so
walking
true.
out of the theater.
Oh, man.
See, anybody that wants to do that, if you want to make a movie like that, you wait and show all the fucking hardcore porn in the last 5 minutes. You do the movie, you give the build up to it, give the story, then show some hardcore fucking. That is where we need to go in cinema. That's
so
what
you're saying everyone should watch The English Patient.
No. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is we need to see Black Widow fuck Captain America at the end of Avengers.
Oh shit! You're going.
This is what I'm saying. That last 5 minutes, I want them to go to Pound Town.
Now here's one for you.
I want him to invade Charlotte's Web.
That would be a marvel to appalled. Whatever. What did you say?
It would be a marvel.
That would be one marvel to see.
It really would.
A marvelous action.
And then we can mix it in with some DC and some DP. I don't know.
I need you to take our reviews, put them together, and give me an average.
You know what? I put them together.
And what's our average?
I double stuffed it. 18.25.
And what does that put it next to? What's the movies that we would say are as good as this?
No, man.
Or somewhat as good. Near.
Matrix Revolutions is 18.
Well, that makes sense.
18.375 Election.
That's a good movie, though.
I think that's a good comparison to completely different movies, but at the same time, interestingly quirky.
And the same time period, too.
Yeah. 19.5 for Almost Famous.
Well, that's a really good movie. That's better.
It is, but I'm saying I think it's another one where you talk about the score to it, the music.
Yeah. The music. You know? I mean, the needle drops on these are just...
And what it... Yeah.
Epic. I mean...
18.375 for Fast and Furious 6.
Good movie. Well, you know what makes... funny? You say this. I just want to tell you, at work, somebody asked a question about Fast and Furious 7 out of the blue. Right? And we're experts.
Yeah.
So I start going to what I think is the best movie and where that one fits. And I go, but number 6 was supposed to be 2 movies. That's why it has 2 endings, which is why it has a good rating in our system, because it was like 2 big movie endings in one movie.
Oh, boy. 18.125 Maverick, 1994.
Yeah. Good movie.
Good movie.
So, yeah. And those are all movies I could watch equally. I can watch Boogie Nights again. The only problem with watching it, and my wife asked me, why didn't you watch this at work? And I said, it's a movie about the porn industry. I can't watch this at lunch at my desk.
All right, now I got to fucking tell this story real quick.
See, it's your fault. I didn't do it. Go ahead.
So I was trying to finish watching this movie because it's a 2.5 hour movie.
Yes, it's a fucking long one.
So it is a bit of a beast. Let me tell you about the awkward, strange, not shame that you feel, but almost like that you should, when you're sitting in the school parking lot 20 minutes before your kid gets out of school to pick them up, and you're trying to catch up about 10, 15 more minutes of it on your phone on Netflix. That's some weird feelings right there.
Hopefully you aren't watching that Colonel scene when that's happening.
Listen, literally, I'm in my car, windows up, nothing like, I got it blasting on the surround sound or anything. But I'm literally, even with on my phone, I'm still, and there's no nudity scenes, I'm still like holding it, like nobody walks by, feel weird. It's just weird. It's fucking weird. Like,
I get
should not be in a fucking elementary school parking lot watching Boogie Nights.
That's why I didn't do it at work, because I knew those feelings would be there. So I'm not crazy. I am not crazy. I can tell you that much. So looks like it's
too much.
So it looks like that's in a good place in our list. So I would like to thank you for listening. We also want to remind you to join our Patreon so you can get some of that bonus content and other fun stuff.
Remember, you can go to
Boner Con. Yeah, after this, maybe we'll rename it. But remember, you can go to sodapopcultureclub.com for all things related to the show, including your chance to make movie suggestions, just like today's episode. And our episode schedule is there as well. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and we have a Twitch channel. Now we want to give you a little tease as to what next week's movie may be. See if you can guess what it is.
Sometimes, not often, I like the idea of a woman with a horse.
Woo! And
I had to mix it up.
Yeah, sometimes, we go from one taboo to the next. So as always,
really
we thank you for listening. Anything else?
Thank you, Tom, for requesting this. We hope you enjoyed it.
Happy birthday, asshole. Bro. And hopefully you don't have any of those weird stains on your couch
anymore.